Yes, I'm making a documentary.
About what?
About officers from this police station and 2 other police stations.
Can you stop recording?
No, I have the right to record you.
You need to put the video down.
No, I do not have to put the video down.
You do?
No, I do not, madam.
Why are you filming this station anyway?
I've already told you, I'm making a documentary.
About what?
About officers from this police station and 2 other police stations, okay, that committed sexual offences and only got an 18-month suspension. Okay, that is the reason why I'm here.
What are the officers?
Their names, I can't remember all 5 of their names, okay, but literally it was between here, Twickenham and Kingston upon Thames. It was those 3 police stations that came together as one, okay, and put a unit together, and that's when the offences were committed. And literally, as human beings, I just want to know whether or not any serving police officer actually has a comment to make whether or not they feel it's appropriate for a serving police officer.
I can't comment on it if I don't know the circumstances of the name. Can I? Like, you're filming and asking people to comment, like police officers, right?
Yep.
But you're not telling me the circumstances of the name, so how am I meant to comment?
But as I already said, I can't remember all 5 of their names.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was between all 3 of the police stations.
But do you not think this is like not the right way to go about it? Because you should just ask if you can text someone, and then someone will invite you in, and then you can have a talk about it.
Well, I've tried contacting the press office, and literally I've had nothing back.
Right. The thing is, you can't film out here of the police station.
Why can I not?
People think you're doing something else.
Well, no, I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity.
Yeah.
Okay, I've told you exactly why I'm here.
Yeah, but do you understand why this looks...
Well, yeah, if you didn't stop me, you wouldn't be doing your job, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what you've also then got to remember, I have the legal right to do exactly what I'm doing. And that is what I'm doing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and that is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so when you actually look at it as a whole, I'm doing a completely lawful activity. I've been here for a while. I've spoken to several officers already. Okay, I've had nice interactions.
Yeah.
I've had only 1 aggressive officer.
Right.
Okay, that I will be putting a complaint in about.
Okay.
But the majority of the officers have been really pleasant and really lovely.
Yeah.
And it's like, even when I was over at Kingston upon Thames.
All right, buckle up, because what we're diving into today is nothing short of jaw-dropping. We've got a story that spans multiple London police stations, officers accused of serious misconduct, and a documentary auditor who isn't afraid to call it out. From Twickenham to Kingston, this isn't your average day at the precinct. We're talking about alleged sexual offenses, light suspensions, and officers who seem completely unaware of public filming rights. Over the next few minutes, you're going to see tension, confrontation, and even a surprising flip in how these interactions unfold. Stick around, because the drama, hypocrisy, and legal twists are just getting started.
And this is the thing. And then when you look at your colleague that just came over with you, telling me to stop filming, I don't have to stop filming. Okay, now you've been lovely and pleasant to talk to, and I do appreciate your time, and I do appreciate that you did stop me. Because as I said, if you didn't stop me, you wouldn't be doing your job. Okay, and I understand that. And that's why I welcome any engagement with any officer, and that is what it's about, is being able to talk. Because if we don't talk, that's where the divide is.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but you got to admit, the way that your colleague came over just then, okay, was very wrong.
I think sometimes when you put a camera in someone's face, it's
no, she walked to me. No, she walked to me.
No, but obviously me coming over to you, like with you putting the camera at me now, it is quite intimidating.
No, but this is the thing. No, but this is the thing. You both knew that I had a camera, and you came to me.
To see what you're doing.
Yep.
What I'm saying is now, like you've got the camera on me, which
Yep.
is fine because you're allowed to do it, but it's a little bit intimidating for me to be filmed. Do you understand that? Like,
Yeah, I know, but then you have the right to walk away from the camera. You have the right to walk away from the camera.
As police, we have to like ask you what you're doing, investigate, like.
Yeah, but then as a member of the public, I have the right not to say anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not like that. Okay, that's why I said I welcome any form of engagement at all, any form of engagement. Because as I said, okay, there's a lot of fantastic officers out there. There's a lot of fantastic officers out there.
Yeah.
And it's also those officers that need to be shown to the public, okay? So the public don't lose faith in the police.
Yeah.
And this is also the big thing, okay, that I like to do, is also highlight a lot of good work that serving police officers do. It's like I was only over at Surrey headquarters literally a few weeks ago, and literally what I learnt to do with what goes on to do with the actual thin blue line and Casper, the actual charity, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic actual interaction that I had.
Yeah.
And that is the thing, okay? People also have to see.
Here's where the heat really starts. Our auditor immediately declares the documentary's purpose, investigating serious allegations, and instantly, an officer demands the camera be put down. But hold on, this isn't just a random disagreement. Public law is crystal clear. Filming in public spaces is fully lawful. Yet, the tension skyrockets because the officer clearly doesn't know the rules. Watch closely how the auditor calmly maintains control, clearly stating their legal rights, while also confronting potentially serious police misconduct. You've got questions bubbling up for viewers. How often do officers misunderstand public rights? And what happens when transparency meets defensiveness?
Single interaction that there is to offer.
Yeah.
Because that is what it's about, is literally showing people like yourself, like where you've come up to me and the way that you've spoken and the way that you've engaged, okay, has been absolutely incredible. The only thing that I haven't asked you, would you mind identifying yourself, please?
Yeah, what's your name?
I would decline on that.
I'm just going to span that as well then.
No, under your policy, you have 3 forms of identification, okay, and you have to identify yourself if a member of the public asks, whether or not that's your collar number, your actual warrant card, okay, and you're not in uniform either.
No.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking you just to actually fully identify yourself, even if it is only your collar number.
Yeah.
When your colleague came along, she showed me a warrant card.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just asking you to identify yourself. That's fine.
That's 2048.
No worries. Thank you very much. Okay, and that's the thing. This is why I told you it's about the engagement. I told you why I was here.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't know the actual case. You couldn't make a comment on it. But then the way that we're actually talking now, this is how it should be. Okay, and I know everybody's had an absolutely unbelievable year and a half, okay, that's been absolute hell for everybody. And this is the thing, we also need to highlight the good things that are being done. Okay, so don't think that it was just about being here and literally having things that go wrong. It's not about that.
Notice the shift here. After multiple polite but tense exchanges, our auditor makes a key point. This is entirely lawful activity. And this isn't just bravado. They've attempted proper escalation via the press office and spoken to inspectors across multiple stations. The drama is in the contrast, one aggressive officer versus several professional, welcoming officers. You can feel the tension, but also the spotlight on accountability. It's a fascinating dynamic because it shows the thin line officers walk between enforcing rules and respecting the public's legal rights. Now, ask yourself, if you were filming, how would you navigate?
So you can see literally the officer that came up and gave me all the aggression literally and just decided literally to turn her back and be very, very rude. The other officer, the one that's in the actual white and black trousers, been really nice to talk to, really pleasant. The other one was very, very quite arrogant and very rude. And that's the problem. And that's why when you look at it as a whole, it's not right in the way that things are done. So, and that's why we do exactly all what we can do, okay? And why we do it, okay, is literally, it's about literally engaging with the actual public, and that isn't what's being done. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why it's literally, it's about doing what we do, okay, and making ourselves literally very, very open with what we do. She came along, I told her exactly why I was here, and she decided to get very, very funny. So, and this is why I would do exactly what I'm doing. I have every legal right to be here.
And here comes a twist. The officer claims the camera is intimidating. But watch closely, the interaction is completely voluntary. The auditor's measured response flips the narrative. Engagement, not fear, is driving the conversation. This is brilliant for anyone studying human dynamics. The auditor balances accountability with highlighting good policing, keeping the dialogue respectful but firm. It's also a masterclass in diffusing conflict while holding a mirror to authority. Viewers, here's a question for you. Do you think the officer's perception of intimidation is genuine or a defensive tactic when...
Been here for well over an hour, had some really nice interaction, some really arrogant interaction, and some really aggressive, putting your hand in your face aggression. And that's the thing. So when you actually look as a whole, and when you look at what's being done, okay, this is why we do what we do, and how we do it, and why we do it, and this is the thing. So when you look, okay, literally, people have to remember that I have the legal right in which to be here. I've committed no crime, okay, I've broken no law. So why she decides to actually come out and give me this outright full aggression, I do not know. And that is the actual big thing, okay? And that is why when you actually look as a whole, okay, and what's actually going on, okay, that is why we do what we do, okay, and how we do it and why we do it. So, and that's the big thing. So,
one of the most interesting aspects here is the auditor's insistence on showing both sides, not just misconduct, but positive work. From Surrey headquarters to local initiatives like the Thin Blue Line and Casper Charity, the auditor repeatedly points out excellent policing efforts. This is key because it prevents the narrative from being one-sided and emphasizes nuance. Real storytelling isn't about condemnation alone, it's about context. It's also a subtle reminder to the audience that transparency builds trust. Ask yourself, how often do we hear only the negative about institutions, and what changes when good work is highlighted?
I don't need any help, sir.
Okay, why are you filming those two ladies?
No, they approached me, sir.
Okay, what
They
did say?
came to me, sir. So let's verify that. They came to me, sir.
Yeah, okay, what did they say?
Okay? Well, telling me that I shouldn't be here, okay?
Okay.
I have every legal right to be here. I've spoken to several other officers here,
Okay,
right? I'm here doing an actual documentary, okay,
Right.
on this police station and two other police stations where they
Yeah.
put a unit together,
okay.
okay? And 5 of those officers committed sexual offences and were suspended for a total of 18 months.
Okay. Do you have any documentation to prove that you are allowed to...
Well, I'm in public, sir. I'm in public.
Okay.
I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity.
Well-
I'm in public and I'm allowed to film whatever I can see
Okay.
in public.
Okay.
And that is exactly what I'm doing, sir.
So you said that you're carrying out a documentary, is that right?
Yes, for myself.
Okay. For yourself?
Yes.
Okay, it was just understanding whether it was for the media or...
No, for myself, sir.
Okay, so what's your involvement in all of this? If these officers...
Well, I'm a member of the public, sir.
All right. But what's
I'm a
your
member-
involvement in terms of...
No, I'm a member of the public, okay, and I've come here, okay,
Yeah.
to actually find out whether or not any serving officer, okay, as a human being, believes that it's right for somebody in that position,
Right.
okay, to commit a crime such as that,
Okay.
right, and think that it's actually acceptable just purely because they're a serving.
Now we hit another pivotal moment: refusal to identify. The auditor carefully points out policy. Officers must provide ID if requested, yet this officer walks away. This is a small interaction with huge implications, showing a recurring accountability gap. It's tense, slightly awkward, but perfectly lawful on the auditor's side. And here's the kicker: it's a public reminder that authority carries responsibilities, not just power.